Good morning, everyone. And today we are starting with a new chapter that is Delhi Sultanate. Now, you can see in this flow chart that in Delhi Sultanate we are going to cover four dynasties, four important dynasties, that is the Slave dynasty, Khalji dynasty, Tughlaq dynasty, and Sayyids and Lodhis. So, how this dynasty came to be known as the Delhi Sultanate and how these dynasties came into being, this is what we are covered into this chapter. So before starting with the chapter, we need to understand that why it is called as Delhi Sultanate, because this was the time, the 12th century was a time when that Delhi began to be gain importance and became a center of commerce and industries. Now in Delhi was the place when most of the invaders came, and it became a marketplace also, and it became a central place for people to come. That is why Delhi was a very important place for people to control India. So that is why this chapter has been named, or these dynasties have been named as the Delhi Sultanate. So, what is the history behind it? In the previous chapter, you will read that there has been some Turkish rulers who came to India and plundered India. The first was the Muhammad Ghazni. Muhammad Ghazni came to the throne, and after that Muhammad Ghori came to the throne. And when Muhammad Ghori went back to his country, then he left his slave, his trusted slave, Qutbuddin Aibak, and he started with the slave dynasty, and that is why it is called as the slave dynasty, and it is also called as the Mamluk dynasty. Why Mamluk? Because in Arabic language, a slave is called as a Mamluk. And this dynasty was started by a slave itself. That is why it is called as the slave dynasty. Now, first of all, have a look at this flow chart. These are all dynasty, and this is the a compiled form of all these dynasties. So we are going to read with the Qutbuddin Aibak, who started with the slave dynasty. After that, his son-in-law Iltutmish came. Then his son Firoz Shah came to the throne. Then Iltutmish daughter and Firoz Shah's sister Razi Sultan came to the throne. Then Razia Sultan's brother Nasiruddin Muhammad came to the throne, and after that, his trusted prime minister and one of the part of the Chehalgani, Ghiasuddin Balban, came to the throne. And obviously, after Nasiruddin Muhammad, this dynasty was ended, and it was the starting of the Khalji dynasty. So let's read about the slave dynasty, and we are going to start with the Qutbuddin Aibak. Okay. Now Qutbuddin Aibak, as I told you, was a trusted slave of Muhammad Ghori, and he started with the control of Delhi and Delhi Sultanate. So this is called as a slave dynasty. Now Qutbuddin Aibak was also involved in making of a lot of constructions like Quwat ul Islam Mosque in Delhi and Dhai Din Ka Jhopda in Ajmer, which is again a mosque only. Then he died in 1210 when he was playing a kind of a game which is similar to a polo game, and he died in that accident only in the year 1210. Qutbuddin Aibak was also, involved into the initiation of the construction of the Qutub Minar, but due to his sudden death, he was not able to complete his construction. Then, after the sudden death of Qutbuddin, his son-in-law Iltutmish came to the throne after 1210. Now, Iltutmish was considered as a real consolidator of the Turkish conquest. Why? Because he was a person who, in order to gain support from the Turkish nobilities, he granted them many territories. He granted them many territories and concentrated his effort on strengthening his empire while recovering the lost territories. He also strengthened the northwest borders from the of India, because there has been a lot of attacks happened by the Mongols. Okay, and that is why he strengthened his order from the northwestern border of India. Now, Iltutmish was a very great consolidator, and he also started a group of nobles of 40 people who used to be called as Chalisa or Chehelgani. Chalisa means for a group of 40 people. So he was the person who was actually responsible for making this group. Now, after Iltutmish, his son came to the throne, Firoz Shah, but he was not able to consolidate the whole empire. Then his daughter, Razia Sultan, came to the throne. Now, Razia Sultan was a very great monarch. She was very intelligent. She was a very wise person. But because of his gender, she was not able to gain control or the confidence of the people who were male. And they believed into the male society. That is why. So, we will read about Razia Sultan. Razia Sultan who succeeded Iltutmish, and she used to put in male attire, and at that time when women used to cover their faces with the veils, she used to appear in public unveiled, and she used to put on the male attire in order to tell people in society that she is also equally a part of society as they were. The second thing is she succeeded in establishing law and order throughout the empire, and she was also in power struggle with the Sultan and the Chehelgani, because Chehelgani, which was actually a group started by his own father, were against Razia because she was a female. Okay, then she was a, because people were against because she was a female monarch, and one of the reason was that she used to trust her one of the slave Yakut from Ethiopia, and that was also one of the reason to displease these people, and that is why she was murdered as a conspiracy. Nobody knows that who was involved into this conspiracy, but she was murdered, and that was the end of the Razia's period. After that, his brother Nasiruddin Muhammad came to the throne, and he also died in the year 1266. After Nasiruddin Muhammad died, there was no other person from their family to succeed the throne, and that is why their prime minister and also one of the members of the Chalisa group came to the throne. And you can also realize that after this, this dynasty, the slave dynasty, has ended. Now, what Balban did was that he centralized all power and authority. He used to believe that everything should be in his hands. That is why he centralized everything. He also believed that from the monarch, that every person who is a part of a nobles should belong to noble origin only. Okay. He also established a very efficient spy system in order to be informed every time what is happening into his state and what is happening among people. So he kept a very efficient spy system in order to be informed about them. And he was also one of the members responsible for the end of the Chehelgani. Yes, the Chehelgani, the group of 40 people, the initiative started by Iltutmish was the, Balban was responsible for ending this thing. Okay, so by this we have covered the slave dynasty, and in the next class we are going to read about the Khalji dynasty and how Khaljis become to the throne and be a part of the Delhi Sultanate. Thank you so much.